Roger.
The Atlanta is steaming towards Singapore Harbor and the planned 2,200 container moves. This megaship is purpose-built for one thing only: to carry cargo. A mountain of cargo. All up, she can carry 8,063 20-foot containers.
These are the lashing bars and the turnbuckles up. These are 20 foot. You can load 20s and you can load 40s, either or. But they still need lashing forward and aft to keep them fixed in position.
Even though she hasn't yet reached her full load capacity, the captain still likes to check on the containers from the top to the very bottom.
Where we are now, we're 13.6 metres underwater now. Down here, the containers are stacked 9 high. So they go 9 high, and then on deck, another 6 to 8 high. So roughly, we're stacking 17 high.
From the very bottom of the stack, over 13 meters below the water, the containers rise over 44 meters. On land, it would look like a city block rising 10 stories. If laid end to end, those containers would stretch further than an Olympic marathon, nearly 50 kilometers. A little over 40 years ago, it was a different story. Products like wine would have been transported in a variety of simple boxes, and moving frozen foods over long distances was simply out of the question. Then, in the late 50s, an American, Malcolm McLean, came up with an idea that would revolutionize world trade. By packing all goods into modular containers similar in design and dimension, they could be easily transported anywhere in the world by road, rail, or sea. As the use of these containers has grown, so has the size of the ships that carry them. The Atlanta is one of 12 SX-class ships built for OOCL by the Samsung shipyard in Korea. It took over 8,000 workers nearly 9 months to build her, at a cost of over $150 million.
She is the largest ship ever built when she was contracted. And she had been installed the largest main engine when available in that time.
For the engine power he was given, for the speed he wants, he's done, for me, a great job.
When first launched, the SX class held the world record as the largest container ship ever built.
We use the high tensile steel to get the minimum light ship weight so that we can maximize the cargo loading capability.
It's that combination of high tensile steel and the design of the hull that gives the Atlanta her enormous load-carrying ability.
This that runs the full length of the ship is a very important structural member for stresses, because you must remember there's so many big openings that the ship is bending all the time. In this area, when you've got 95,000 horsepower pushing this ship, the pressure is enormous. You can see that the frame structure is very heavy. So this is a high stress area, especially in heavy weather.
The real pride of the Atlanta is the power plant. This is one of the world's biggest diesel engines. A 12-cylinder turbocharged monster. Its sheer size is breathtaking. The engine fills a room 6 stories high, 6 stories of incredible power. The engine peaks at 104 revolutions per minute, but generates a mind-blowing 93,120 brake horsepower. That's over 700 times more power than an average family car. And all that power adds up to one thing: speed through the water. She can average nearly 25 nautical miles an hour. That's fast enough to water ski behind, as long as you can handle that huge stern wash. While at sea, the Atlanta can notch up over 570 nautical miles a day. But a speed like that comes at a price.
This ship, she burns a lot of fuel. Full speed, she'll burn 230, 240 tons a day.
That's a staggering 10 tons of diesel every hour the ship is underway. She may be thirsty, but she's also a clean engine. And that starts with clean fuel. A series of filters remove impurities before the diesel is pumped into a holding tank and heated to 129 degrees. Hot fuel and gas is an explosive mix.
Number 7 cargo hold, number 7 cargo hold, the fire alarm's gone off.
No other sound strikes fear into the heart of the mariner like the fire alarm.
Starboard side, bay 1, starboard side. Let me know.
A fire at sea can spell disaster. A small spark can soon become a fireball. The crew have to be ready to act in an instant.
In the ocean, you're on your own, you've got nobody. We've got no shore facilities, no emergency services. We just rely on our own training and our own emergency services. But a fire is the worst.
In an emergency like this, First Mate Jonathan rallies the crew. The captain calls the shots.
We are now proceeding forward for investigation.
Aye, aye. On deck, please.
Getting it right can mean the difference between survival and disaster.
Both those are ready. Okay, I'm going to start the emergency fire pump.
The crew have to work together closely. When the emergency pumps come on, they come on strong. Seawater is pumped onto a fire at a rate of over 4,000 liters per minute through high-pressure hoses.
Training every Saturday afternoon, 2 hours of training every Saturday. We have fire drills, forward, galley, accommodation, all over the ship. Within a space of 3 months, we'll have covered every part of the ship on a fire drill. And 95% of all fires at sea are in the engine room.
Meet me down at the CO2 room. The CO2 room. You read over?